Oh, a screwdriver. I feel fantastic again.
Yes.
You know what? I'm actually a little drunk again. Even
Yes.
I'm gonna-
100%.
I can drive the kids to school now. I'm fine.
Yes.
Before this, I felt like shit.
Here we are, everybody.
Oh no,
we're on.
we're doing it, everybody.
Talking
Okay.
about the hair of the dog.
Yeah, Adam was saying that he can't drink because he gets hungover, and I was saying that when I drank, I never got hungover. And if you do get hungover, I mean, I hate to say it, but you just keep drinking. I mean,
going.
it's terrible to. I'm not.
Maybe you just taper down. Would that work?
Well, I mean, I don't think it, like, if you get up and you're hungover. By the way, everybody, welcome to the Brian McCarthy interview show. I'm Brian Tatum, and this is irresponsible drinking. An hour of no, but like, if you, let's say, you get fucked up all night, blah blah blah, blah, and you wake up in the morning,
You're playing beer pong.
yeah, got to drive a
With the other pledges.
school bus full of retards.
Yes.
There's some sort of a group home. You don't want to do it.
Oh, shit.
You look at a jaundiced eye and a broken mirror in the studio apartment you live in outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and then
Basement studio.
yeah, exactly. Under a bowling alley, above another bowling alley. Just Simpsons reference, but and then, well, what the move is you just have yourself a little screwdriver, or something. You don't want to have anything that smells too much. You don't wake up and start doing Jaeger bombs. I mean, maybe, but not. That's like if you're on vacation or something. But
Right.
you just keep.
Not if you got to teach a class.
No, you're like,
Can't do a
folks.
Jaeger
No,
bomb. Jaeger
I got to
bomb.
teach a fencing class now. And I, and when it comes to drugs, like your second day of, say, like doing cocaine or whatever, that's always like the sort of the good. It's nice to have a
Day
base.
2?
Nice to have a base coat,
Yeah.
as they say, a nice base coat of drugs and alcohol in you, and before you continue to do them. If you're watching, it's YouTube or Facebook. Please like, subscribe, share. I hate to say that, but there you go. Smash that. What do you say? Smash that like.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. And then, of course, if you're listening to the podcast, if you're a Patreon member, thank you very much. We appreciate all that. If you're not a Patreon member, Patreon/Brian McCarthy. It should be on our Adam found a really
right below on the ticker there.
Yeah, it's on the crawl.
Yeah, we're in front of a 1930s
Right.
kibbutz.
A kibbutz, which is where Jews go to to the desert to make olives or something, to go,
Yeah.
and they
it's
all
like kind of like a work camp, right?
easy. Whoa, slow it down.
It's a consensual work camp
Yeah.
where you get room and board
Yeah, okay,
and
fair enough. Right.
bread that's not made of sawdust.
Right, not run by angry Germans.
No.
Okay, sure.
You take
No,
a Jeep there.
I would like to. I don't know. It seems fun to be. It seems fun to be Jewish.
I knew a guy that worked on a kibbutz, like a kind of a sort of a hippie.
Yeah. There was.
Lived in Brooklyn. That was
Okay.
probably played the banjo or something.
Yeah. I
Worked on a kibbutz like for a summer.
I bet you get a lot of pussy on a kibbutz.
I bet you could.
Yeah,
I bet you could.
You always be like, yeah,
A
man.
fuck fest.
I bet we should give the West Bank back or whatever. It's always like talking about, like, being like a cool Jew to the girls.
100%.
I'm one of the
You gotta
good
be
ones.
You
Yeah.
gotta be very progressive.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. I'll eat shellfish, but like not in front of my parents. That kind of thing. Just like let everybody know you're on the other side of it.
I'm groovy.
Yeah. You ever see Jews for Jesus?
Yeah.
That gets Jewish people crazy, like Orthodox Jews.
They're like, aren't they kind of in Times Square with some, a PA system or something?
Once upon a time.
Or am I
were.
thinking of the Black Israelites?
You're thinking the Black Israelites, who are awesome, but no, the Jews for Jesus. You don't see them. I mean, I'm sure they're still around somewhere, but they don't. I feel like they kind of had a moment, because really, Jews for Jesus are Jews that believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which by definition makes you not Jewish. I mean, I'm no theologian, but I feel like if you're Jewish, you're supposed to wait until the Mashiach or the Messiah shows up. And if you're being like, good luck, Jews, the Messiah's already here, then it kind of takes the steam out of everything. I don't know. Listen, who cares? But you did at one point in time. I remember when the Scientologists showed up in New York, and they would give you a copy of Dianetics in the subway. Then they'd be like, that'll be $5. You're like, hey, I don't want. I thought you were giving this to me.
Did I ever tell you the time in when I lived in downtown Minneapolis, I walked into and like sat down in the church. The sort of the basically they're out on the street. They go, "Do you want to take a personality test or whatever?" Sat down and they're like, "Okay, now you got to watch this movie." And I'm like, "Whoa!" Like you said, there was going to be a questionnaire.
I heard there'd be punch and pie.
Yes.
You walked out 14 years later.
Basically, I was like, how long? Like, what is this? And they're like, it's just a 45-minute movie. And I'm like,
it.
no, I was walking by.
No,
And
listen.
I excused myself, but I could have become a
Well, they
Scientologist.
they ask
Could
you
join the Sea Org.
to sign a contract for a billion years. I'm like, listen, I'll go 10 million, okay, and then let me look into it. After 10 million, I feel like I should be able to re-examine this contract. Things may change in my life, or whatever it is. Did you see Danny Masterson from that 70s show is in jail for 30 years?
Yeah, I sure did.
So
Heard all about it.
Yeah, he's an ardent Scientologist, and apparently a rapist.
Avid.
So
He's an avid rapist.
he loved raping.
Journeyman rapist.
But the thing is like I was watching all these clips of like him being on like Conan and stuff, and kind of like Harvey Weinstein, people making jokes about him like not raping, but being like, I've heard about you.
Kind of out in plain sight.
Yeah, you like to rape people.
Sure.
You and Topher Grace. You spit roast girls while they but not consensual.
Well, I heard that he was almost like a cult leader, like that cast. He was like the elder statesman, and I guess they all sort of looked up to him. And like Topher Grace apparently was like the only normal one.
Yeah,
that was like, you guys are fucking crazy.
Right.
And so he was like shunned. Eric Foreman was shunned from that whole group. But he had Mila and fucking Laura Prepon and what's his name? Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah, right.
And because they were in hot water this week because they wrote letters
of support,
which makes people think that Danny Masterson has some shit on them.
Oh, right.
How Scientology works.
It'd be funny if Ashton really leans in. He's like, Your Honor, these girls had it coming. Okay, Demi and I were just saying how no a lot of times means yes,
right.
And God, I used to love that redheaded
Laura Prepon.
Yeah, she got a little thick though with the when she was on.
Did she?
Well, she was on the Orange Is the New Black.
Right.
So,
correct.
I guess I liked her when she was 15. This is what I'm saying. I thought when she was, when she got her period, she really
liked her in Bell Bottoms.
Yeah, she really. And then didn't they make like that 80s show and then that 90s?
I think now there's one.
That 1890 show.
Yeah, it's
they're all walking around
1920s kibbutz.
Yeah, they're all walking around in bowler hats they all have those bikes with the big wheel in the front.
What is it? It's right now it's
it's the one where it's the children of the.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so. Yes, it's that 90s show.
Oh, and it is 90s, huh?
Yeah, okay. And I'm saying this not with any real. I mean, it
looks like that 90s show. Yeah.
It's like,
I skipped the 80s.
It's like, oh man, my AOL account is too much dial-up. Oh man, I've got to go to see Sum 41 this weekend. My Toyota Tercel.
It's the Alice in Chains.
Yeah. Did I tell you I used to sell drugs to Mike Inez?
I think so.
Oh, well, what haven't I told you at this point? But yeah, no. But I don't really. Did you like grunge? Were you? Did you like him?
I will.
In my head.
Yeah, I was actually just listening to some Nirvana the other day.
Oh boy,
I revisited some of that. I don't know. I that's about as deep as it went. But I mean, I was in my early teens, so I kind of got into like Green Day and
Dookie.
What was the other one? Man,
Snow, the Canadian rapper, Farmer. But
I love Snow.
Come gay,
the Quebec rapper,
Quebecois. Hey, well, it's funny because grunge really. I feel like grunge was around for about 8 months. It was like a huge deal. Yeah. And then Kurt Cobain died, and then it just kind of like. I mean, it was still there, kind of, but like they didn't. The whole idea of it was like you didn't really. There was very little showbiz in it, so it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was kind of like you had. Who were really grunge bands? Of course, Alice in Chains, I guess. Certainly Nirvana.
The band I was thinking of, they're not. I guess they're not really grunge, but The Offspring. That was somebody that I was kind of into at that time.
Yeah.
The Offspring and Nirvana and.
They were on the soundtrack to Crazy Taxi, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Offspring, yes. But then there'd be like, what's the one where the guy died? That doesn't narrow it down. Scott Weiland, Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah. Stone Temple Pilots. I like them too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
they were
Stone
good.
Temple Pilots.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like as they kind of sang with that. Ooh,
yeah. I love the story.
That affect.
Yeah, right. No wah wah. No, yeah. I'm gonna do this in my own voice. Yeah.
But then later on, Stone Temple Pilots, the guy just sang regular.
Yes,
Like
he
he
did.
didn't do that weird, deep,
No.
guttural thing.
He's like, through the evening I will find you. Well, I love the story about him when this is years ago. I mean, he's dead now, probably for 5 years. But like, I remember he was on the Lower East Side, and those of you who don't live in New York, that was and probably still remains a big drug area. And I remember like he was just walking around, and these two cops were like, "Hey, Scott Weiland. Hey, Scott Weiland, you have any drugs on you?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Wait, really?
Yeah. It was like a couple of cops were like,
Wow, talk about the ultimate profiling.
"Oh yeah." They just saw him. They were like, "Scott Weiland, we're a
Wait
big
a
fan."
minute.
Wait, you're a junkie, aren't
you
you?
known for being on heroin?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
kind of the heroin area.
Yeah, I have heroin
Where you
on
go to
me.
Score, Tompkins Square
Yeah.
Park. Maybe.
Could I get an autograph for my niece?
Mhm.
And also, you empty your pockets, please. Anything?
Also, lower your head into my vehicle.
Yeah. Anything sharp in here? I should know about.
Anything sharp? They always say that.
Oh.
Anything sharp in here I should know about?
Listen, I mean,
Got any weapons on you?
I guess I mean, I get it. I
They
don't.
got poked enough times.
Yeah, I don't want to get poked with a needle or.
Makes sense.
And by that I mean a knitting needle. You know, I don't want to. I don't know. I mean, I get it.
Right.
Boy, I tell you, I watch those videos of those body cam videos. Like, I watch them all the time where they go up. I just don't because like I've been arrested a couple times. I mean, not recently, but like and I've had a couple of altercations with police where if they really knew what I was up to, I would have been in much bigger trouble. But when I'm always blown away when somebody, maybe because like I had such a terrible childhood or something, but like when you go up and the cop goes up the window and there'll just be somebody sitting there and the cop's like, "Hi, good evening," and the guy goes, "What the fuck do you want?" And I'm just
right.
like,
Yeah.
"How do you?" And the
I
cop's like,
I don't get that either.
"Yeah." Cop's like, I know, I don't want to do this either. It's raining. If you
Yeah.
don't mind, may I have your license? Suck my dick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Just give me your last name. I don't have a last name. All right. Well, we can work with this. And it's like the cop gives him like 11 chances to finally. And it could be something like, "Hey, I'm sorry, you weren't wearing your seatbelt. Your mother's cunt wasn't wearing a seatbelt," and just like, oh,
There was a lady, I saw a video of a lady in like Oklahoma that got fucking pulled out of her car and tased and stuff because she just wouldn't,
yeah,
she was like one of these like MAGA people,
Sure,
and she was like, yeah, I don't need to, it's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Was that kind of person. And
what is the one that they call where they say
sovereign citizen?
Yes, sovereign citizen. That's another one too. They like pull over and they always say something weird like, "Are you a magistrate that has do you have a fresh goose that you can present to me that is a proof that you are someone who can in fact kill for your own?" And you're like, "What are you?"
Right. And they're like, "Sir, you were driving. I was driving. I was traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a sovereign. I'm a
Hi.
sovereign entity.
I don't recognize borders.
I love it. These fucking people read a bunch of shit on a message board.
It's unbelievable.
And then they try to implement it, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're in contempt.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna do 10 more days because of something you read on 4chan." It's like,
yeah. And also
they think they're smarter than everybody.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why I mean, and also there was a one where I saw a documentary and there was a guy like basically in front of the judge and there was like somebody who was like kind of another sovereign person who'd been helping this person. And the person was fucking up so much the judge gave them like another 5 years in jail. And the sovereign guy behind him was like, "God, I'm sorry about that."
Usually they'll just up it like 30 days. Okay,
Yeah.
60 days.
Yeah.
Okay, 90. And you're like, Jesus, this was like a parking ticket.
Yeah. And the guy like in the galley was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe all this stuff is nonsense." The guy's like, "I'm going to jail for 10 years now because I was littering." You told me that Trump was going to come in here in a parachute and whisk me away.
Right.
I went to court this week.
Small claims.
For my, it sounds like my cock. I had to go for my televisions. So I went in on Tuesday and this was my, my fourth time with the contractor. And what was funny is, for those of you who are just joining us, so I had a big TV in the living room and it fell out of the wall the day after we had it installed. And the contractor, they put it in the wall. I mean, why I didn't do it, and they basically they didn't nail it into the or drill it into the studs that are in the wall. I sent them an invoice with the repair and the damages and blah blah blah, and they sent me an email that just told me to fuck right off, and that they. I mean, honestly, if I had the email, if it was easy enough to find, I would ask you to read it because I mean. At one point, it's like, we know that you pulled this television off the wall yourself with like 4 exclamation points. I'm like, so I had no choice. I took
You're
him
a
to
saboteur.
Yeah, exactly. We know you wanted a new TV. I'm like, by the way, I'm not
Serious
broke.
victim
Like,
blaming here.
yeah. And so anyway, so I took them to small claims court, and because of COVID, it took like a year for that whole thing to kind of work through. Brought them the first time, and of course, when you go to small claims court, they can ask for an extension. So we asked for an extension, so we came back a second time, and the second time we saw the fucking judge, and then I won the judgment, and blah, blah, blah. And that was a year ago. And then a month after I was in court, you and I were sitting here, heard a loud crash, and then another TV. They mounted another 4 televisions in the house. TV in my daughter's room fell off the wall. And then it turns out that the other 3 televisions that the same company mounted, none of them were secured into the wall with the studs, and they were all just put up with fucking, baling wire and chewing gum, and that was that. So I finally took it in the small claims court again, had my first day in court back in June. Of course, they asked for an extension. The contractor did. And then so this past Tuesday was finally the time. And I show up, and it was the same judge from the 85-inch TV. And she's looking at us, and she looks at me. She goes, I feel like I mean, because I was on VH1 18 years ago. I mean, I get it a lot. I mean, so I
know you
understand.
from somewhere?
Yeah. Jocelyn.
My other TV that fell off.
Yeah,
the wall.
yeah. I said, Jocelyn, give the lady a headshot, would you?
Right.
What's your name, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to guess. This is for your niece? Okay. Nice to meet a fan. Did you know I have over 68 followers on TikTok? Thank you.
The presumptuous plaintiff.
Yeah, exactly. You want some swag? So anyway, so I said yes. I said, you probably know me because I feel like you were the first judge from the first TV. So I'd explain it to her. And then they go to the contractor. It was a real piece of garbage. And
now, did he actually show up?
Yeah. He had
okay.
Because if you don't, you get one extension. You get like one mulligan, right? And then if you, so the second time around, if you don't show up, I think I just won the judgment. And then he shows up. And what I did is I asked for, the maximum you can ask for is 10 grand. So I asked for 10 grand. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've been down here a bunch of times.
Shoot
and
for the stars.
Fuck it. Why not? Shoot for the moon. You'll end up at the stars. That's what I say. And so so the guy, it's his turn now to talk to the judge. And he literally opens with, Your Honor, I don't want to be here because my mother just died. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so he's going sympathy.
Just out of the fucking gate. Jesus. I mean, and he brought the kid that actually mounted the TVs in the wall was his nephew. And he was the one that, I talked to him while he was here, hanging up these fucking stapling the TVs to the wall.
Right.
And he was the one who was showing me pictures of his Egyptian girlfriend and telling me that I can get steroids for me. Because we were talking about working out.
Nice.
And he was showing me, like, over COVID, he put on like 30 pounds of muscle. And he's like, I can get steroids. And I'm like, he was like this Albanian fucking 21-year-old, like, just
sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah, just a real fucking, it's like, he's like trying to sell me a CD carousel changer for my, right. I have I have a Scion TL.
Definitely.
Yeah. So he was there the nephew was with the guy, the contractor, Orhan, and like he's wearing like this incredibly bright neon like a bowling shirt down to like his knees. If I was his uncle, I would have been like, can you just put on a regular fucking shirt, please? Like, you look like an asshole.
A neon bowling shirt.
It was like a big, loose-fitting...
The Christopher Titus collection.
Yes, very good. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it had an angry... angry Tweety bird on the back of it.
Yeah.
So they were there, but he goes, he goes, I'm a single father, and my mother just died. And so the judge is like, well, I'm sorry. And then the guy goes, the contractor goes, listen, this $10,000, it's illegal. And the judge is like, well, look, it's not illegal. And what he's doing is it's a tactic. And so anyway, I'm not going to bore everybody with the whole thing. But then what they really want you to do when you go to small claims court is they just want you to mediate. They don't want you to they don't want you to have to go sit. They don't want to waste the court's time. So then this was a funny thing. So then we go to a mediator, and the mediator was this little lesbian who had really short hair, and the contractor kept calling her sir, which I enjoyed. I mean, who really cares? I mean, listen, I'm sure this mediator here. I'm sure the mediator hears that all day long.
Was she like androgynous to the extent where you could have mistaken her for a man?
Very much so. She could have been trans even, but it was like he was like, sir, if you don't mess, it was, sir, my mother died, sir.
Or he might have nailed maybe that is her pronoun or their pronoun, and then
yeah, I don't know.
Got it just by accident.
I feel like this was just a lesbian with short hair. If I had to put a thumb on it,
sure.
But and then we got to the mediator. The first thing he fucking says again is, my mother died, and I'm a single father. And then, of course, then I said to my wife, I'm like, do you think I think he's mentioning this because his mother died because a TV fell on her?
Right.
Perhaps like the Wicked Witch of the West, right. Little feet sticking out underneath it.
What a world.
Yes. And then we had a third judge, and this judge was Chinese. I mean, obviously, like, I don't know. I guess she was born in China. She's a judge. Good for her. America. Great.
Chinese judge.
Yep. And she put us in those Chinese handcuffs with your fingers.
Yes.
But she was like,
so you could learn to get along.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You spend a weekend together. But she goes, all right. She goes, listen. And I could barely understand her. She had an incredibly. Is that going to be a problem or what?
No, I think it's okay. I don't think much is
You're listening.
coming.
You got it.
I'm not hearing much through the headphones, so I think we're good.
They're putting a roller coaster in behind the building, everybody.
Yeah,
so it's going to be good.
So.
But anyway, so she had an incredibly thick Chinese accent. So I'm like desperately trying to hear what she's saying. And then, so essentially what they do is, and this is interesting, they come back and the mediator goes to me like, okay, listen, I know you were looking for 10 grand, but the judge realistically is going to give you probably around $2,500 if you win, and you probably will win. This Orhan guy, he initially wanted to give me $1,000. Orhan has agreed to give you $2,000. Will you take the 2 grand and just be done with this whole thing? So my wife, I was like, my wife. I said, I don't know. What do you want to do, honey? She was like, let's just get the 2 grand and get the fuck out of here. So I said, sure, get the 2 grand.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah.
So then we went into the judge, and then we had to swear in that we agree that blah. So I put my right hand up and I said to the judge, I said, I swear in front of God and country. And we had brought we had brought the handyman from my building with us, Jamie, and he was laughing. So that made it fun for me.
Sure.
And then I asked the bailiff if I could get a selfie with the judge, and the bailiff said no. The bailiff was like, yeah. This is a serious court.
Yeah.
We're here, this is the wheels of justice. So I was it. So now at some point I'll get a $2,000. He'll probably drop off 2,000 pounds of pennies or something. I don't know.
Probably spite, sort of spite increment.
Yeah. So then my Albanian contractor, I still want to go and Google and stuff and like leave reviews. And I
mean, listen, that I read reviews for stuff like that all the time because I mean, that's how you avoid people like that.
Yeah, exactly. I just, I don't know. I don't want this guy to, I mean, I think he's a big pussy, so I don't think he'll really do anything, but I would like other people to know that, I mean, he's a unscrupulous character. So we'll see. Anyway, so you're going to Mexico tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Never been.
Never been. Now, the place is it all inclusive? The place you're going to?
No.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm a little wary of all inclusive.
Me too. I do not like them.
If I was gonna like splurge big, I would maybe.
Okay.
Like if it was like a fancy one, and I read the reviews for things because
of course you do.
I don't want to go get like rotten melon.
I told you for my 40th birthday we went to one, and it was so cheap that the bar didn't even have vodka. It had something called vodka cocktail. It had made up liquor,
rubbing alcohol and cream.
Yeah, because guys, I'm like, hey, could I get a Jack Daniels and Coke? Well, I can make a Jack Daniels. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
I need turpentine and
like those people that. Do you remember? It was a few years, but I think before COVID. But a bunch of people died in the Dominican Republic. And it was at those kind of like cheap all-inclusive places, and
they
had like it was like something in the liquor.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it was like there was a liquor dispenser in the rooms.
Ew.
Like a thing that like you would
Sounds
put,
kind of
like,
awesome. I'll be
soft
honest.
soap or
I'll
something.
be honest with you.
It does. But I'm kind of like sometimes things are too good to be true, and
It's like Pinocchio or something before
Yeah.
you turn into a donkey.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell
I'm
you.
like, I don't know. I'm wary of that kind of stuff.
See, I am, and again, I could be wrong about this, but I didn't think there was such a thing as a really nice all-inclusive. I thought they were all
Yeah.
kind of shitty. I thought that was the
I mean,
idea.
I've definitely seen like the nice ones, but
But I mean,
I don't want to spend the money.
No, of course not. No, but I mean, like, I thought the idea of an all-inclusive was you go and it's less expensive because you don't have to leave the property and
Right.
so. And I feel like if the place that if a resort, if their profit margin is just the amount of money people are paying to stay there, then they're going to cut corners with like the food and
100%.
yeah. I mean, the
100%.
Dominican place that I stayed in, I remember I called they had a little restaurant there, and it wasn't really like it never really closed. I mean, at night I think it closed, but it was just kind of like this open, almost like a big open kind of patio thing. It was so fucking hot, and I called it the Sweaty Ham Cafe.
Yeah.
because they had these little folded pieces of like lunch meat, and it was just underneath those bug nets, like a kind of like a bug net topper kind of thing, and they would just take the ham and fold it up shit, put it in the fridge at the end of the day, take it out again. And then it was gross. I mean, I just drank El Presidente the whole time I was there. So I mean, I was only there for 3 nights. So but I didn't eat anything. It was just, I mean, it's just gross. So
I've seen from time to time when there's like, it's just a place I want to stay.
yeah,
And it is like, it's all inclusive, but it's like the price I would pay for
okay,
just for lodging.
right,
And I've considered that because I'm like, anything on top of that is just extra, but it's going to be bad. So
Right.
I'm not going to count. I would never count, I think, on the all-inclusive. I don't know. Usually I'll read a review and it's like there's always a lot of really bad ones.
yeah. And sometimes they'll at an all inclusive they'll be like, and make sure you make a reservation at our signature steakhouse, and
Yeah.
and then that's not really included in the all inclusive, and it's I don't know, it's a lot of fucking. It seems like a lot of homework to do. I don't know. But so what are you gonna do? Are you staying at a resort or like an Airbnb or
Not like a beach, like a hotel right on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you know where you're going? Have you planned out your meals yet?
I've looked around a little bit, but I haven't like gotten.
You should try some Mexican food.
Yeah, I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
it.
why not? Exactly.
Does it have a cojito cheese?
Uh-huh.
on
Yes.
it?
Is that
I
Oaxaca?
think the quesadillas. I mean, I eat so much. I eat a lot of. I love Mexican food.
Sure you do, of course.
So, and in my neck of the woods, it's real good.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's gonna be anything like groundbreaking, but yeah, I looked into. It's kind of. I'm going to this spot where everything's like pretty central.
Okay.
So
In Mexico, they call Mexican food just food.
that's what I.
Yeah.
That's what
one
I
of the things
figured.
they do down there.
Yeah.
But
Do
and
one
then,
of those taco sandwiches.
yeah. So excuse me, pardon me. I'm from America. Thank you. So could I have the tripe taco, please? Gracias.
Well, it's funny because I was looking around the little area that I'm staying in, and there is like Italian food and
Oh, sure.
and like
Yeah. They
whatever.
don't-
I'm like,
yeah,
that's adorable.
I know.
I can
Isn't that
imagine
cute?
going to get like carbonara
Oh,
on a remote island.
Oh my
in
God.
Mexico.
When Jocelyn and I went to my mom took and my stepfather took us to Ireland like I don't know 20 plus years ago, and we went to we were in County Cork, and we've been eating shitty Irish food for like I don't know 7-8 days or something. So we found a Mexican restaurant in Cork.
Ooh.
Woo! Spoiler alert, was not good.
No?
But I remember I had crayfish and mussels enchiladas, and
Wow.
yeah,
That is
yeah, it was very, it was, yeah.
ambitious.
Yeah, and I remember like the waiter was so Irish. It looked like he had a sunburn at 9 o'clock at night. They just, and I don't know. It was just funny. It was like it would have like a menu item like nachos, but it wouldn't be nachos. It would just be like something else, but it would say nachos. You'd be like, all right, well,
Grated aged
yeah,
cheddar
right.
on like
Parmesan on toast.
on some Irish soda bread.
Yes, here you go. Right. Oh, we
With some
take it.
pico,
Yes,
maybe.
pico. The salsa is made with HP sauce and Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce in your salsa. Yeah, no. So I don't know, but yeah, they'll have. I mean, I would like to go to Mexico City. You know,
Okay,
it's supposed to be a big.
yeah.
I think Paul's been there. I think Paul said it was great. So I don't know.
My thing is, I love just hanging out on the beach.
Oh, you don't like
A
street
nice-
art?
I like a nice beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I would do like a city vacation in.
No.
I would go. I'd go for a
I'd
couple
go.
of days.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you're right.
And
I mean,
my thing is when I travel by myself, which I don't really ever do anymore. I can be more adventurous. I don't mind being like uncomfortable, or if something sucks, I just don't go or I leave or whatever. It's like, traveling
Yeah.
with your old lady. You
oh
gotta
yeah.
kind of.
She starts yakking. I don't want to get raped in the
She
street.
sounds just like Andrew Dice Clay's
Oh
wife.
yeah.
She
Oh,
says, "Honey,
honey. Oh,
do you like your enchiladas?"
the hotel got no hot water.
She's from Benson.
Yeah. The sheets, they're not a good tread count.
What's the tread count?
What's
the tread count, honey?
Oh, I should have brought my buckwheat peller.
Got his big fucking glasses. on.
Hey, I gotta plug in my sleep apnea machine.
Oh man, I love an all-inclusive with Dice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good time.
Put your passport in the safe in the room and make a photocopy of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't wear high heels. The streets is cobblestoned.
I do
Oh.
love the idea of just Dice experience, because he kind of is that guy a bit, I think, in real life. The Andrew Dice Clay,
Yeah.
Andrew Silverstein, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Like,
Yeah.
but so I mean, that'd be fun to watch him experience. There's like a reality. I think there was
Yeah,
a reality,
like a
show.
travel
I would-
show?
I don't think there's a travel show. I would love to see like
What?
his version of An Idiot Abroad,
Oh, yeah, right. You kind of set him
like
out.
a
and,
Guido
right. Yeah,
abroad type.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah. He's like in Spain. He's like, why are we having dinner at 11 o'clock at night? Oh,
It's fucking time.
fucking, this is practically breakfast. Oh, yeah. Where are the sombreros running with the bulls? Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be fun. I would like to watch him be kind of a xenophobe everywhere.
Well, what would be great is that, the gym that I go to, apparently Andrew Dice Clay is a member of the gym.
Really?
Yes.
Does he spend that much time here? And
He has an apartment in Midtown.
okay, I would imagine. Yeah,
Apparently.
Right? Makes
Oh,
sense.
I have a pied-à-terre. Oh.
The neighborhood's really changed.
Oh, yeah. This gym's full of faggots. Oh. But yeah, but because my trainer, I know it sounds obnoxious, but Derek, hello Derek. Derek has told me that he has actually spoken with Dice Clay.
Really?
Apparently he's a very quiet. I mean, it's like anybody else.
I hear such mixed reviews of people that have
run into him.
situations with that. Yeah, like I hear sometimes he's just a sweetheart, and then sometimes he's a real jerk.
I wonder if you went up to
I don't
him.
know.
I wonder which side of it is it? Because I wonder if you go up to him and you're like, hey, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan since the 90s.
Yeah.
Or if he'd be like, do you want a picture? Say thanks.
Yeah.
Or if you went up or if you ignored him, would he be like, oh, you don't want to, the Dice Man's here.
Right.
You don't want a picture?
Right,
Like, there's
right.
probably no winning with that guy,
Yeah, I feel like it's moment to moment. I think he's probably that way. It's like, it just really depends.
Yeah, he does like some weird Instagram stuff where he'll make little videos and he'll go up to people in the airport and be like, do you want a picture with the legend? So, well, just recently I was watching one of those old like Catch a Rising Star things from like 1988, and they brought him out. And I got to tell you, I'm watching it and I'm like, I cannot believe anybody ever thought this was funny. Like, it's
Right.
fucking terrible. I mean, it's fun. Look, It's fine. But I mean, it's also one of these things.
Like what era? I mean, was he doing the nursery rhymes?
Oh, this was prime. This was like 88.
Yeah.
This was before he broke big, but he was like on the way up. He was like, and he came out but it was just, I mean, number one, you could tell. Do you remember when he cried on Andrew Dice Clay, when he cried on Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you, a little context, Andrew Dice Clay, who, he's an actor. He's a very good actor, actually. But, this dice thing, it's a character that he came up with. It's a character that he came up with, and it's like a buffoon, and it's a guy from Brooklyn, and it's not really, it's not who he, I mean, obviously it's not the Fonz. It's not like Harry Winkler's not the Fonz. It's a character he plays on stage, and he comes and he does, it's like a thing he does. It's like Pee Wee Herman, pretty much, So anyway, my point is like, so he got incredibly, I mean, he did like The Garden and stuff. He was a huge, Andrew Dice Clay was the biggest comic in the world for about 18 months. I mean, maybe 2 years. And so during that time, he was the host of Saturday Night Live. And when he was the host, Nora, I can't believe I remember her name, Nora Dunn, who, by the way, she'd done nothing after she left SNL. Oh, snarky.
Take that.
Yeah, 40-year-old dig. But Nora Dunn and some other cast members were like, apparently they would not go on the show if he was going to be on the show because he was a misogynist and he was. And the thing is that I feel like as a performer, you really paint yourself in a corner because the audience looks at you and goes, "Oh, there's Andrew Dice Clay," but meanwhile, he's not really. He's just a guy performing as a character. So, but you also, if for those of you who like wrestling, it's kayfabe. If you break the gimmick, then the audience now will lose any credibility with the audience. So you can't go to the audience and be like, hey, listen, I know you're enjoying the thing that I do, but in reality, my name's Andrew Silverstein. I went to NYU and there's a character I'm doing. And, so you have to, and at that point he was fucking huge. So you can't, so apparently I remember this, he went on, you can find it on YouTube very easily, but he went on Arsenio Hall and he was like, you put yourself out there and and he was crying on Arsenio Hall and it killed his career. I mean, it just killed his career. I mean, look, you can be sensitive and you can be, but if your entire, act is predicated on the idea that you're this, tough guy and you're a sex fucking maniac and and then the audience is watching this and they're kind of going along with it. And once they see you, it's like seeing the Santa Claus from the mall, drinking at Bennigan's down the street or something. It just kind of ruins the whole thing for you. So, I mean, but you would watch it but when you see that shit from the late 80s, you're like, oh yeah, he's just this is a dumb character. It's like, but I mean, look, nobody had ever seen it before. And there's a measure of like brilliance in it, I guess. I mean, but it's just, it comes out and he's like, and he does the whole thing with the cigarette and putting his hand out and all around his head. And it really is like a parody of whatever that is. But people didn't get the parody part of it. And you know what I mean? I think people were like,
yeah, it's kind of one of those things like, I mean, Larry the Cable Guy, we know that that's not really
right.
He was like a comedian. It's like Chip Chipperson or something, where it's like, but it's just if Chip outshined.
He's British. That guy. Did you know that? He's
right.
Went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. Right. Studied at Edinburgh at the Shakespeare Academy in Edinburgh. But yeah, it's a character, right? Yeah.
But it, at a certain point, your character sort of eclipses. I think now, like. For Dan, whatever, Larry the Cable, Dan Whitney or whatever, his name is. I think he was a comedian for a while. And then he sort of created that character, and then it took off. And why not just go with it, right?
Cash that check.
But I think with Dice, I know he was like a Travolta impersonator or something. He did he started out doing.
I think John Travolta is a Travolta impersonator.
Yeah, Danny Zuko or what was his character? And
from Welcome Back, Kotter?
What was his character in Saturday Night Fever?
It was not.
Anyways, whatever. People know it.
Yeah. Right.
And I think I want to see he did like an open mic or a talent contest or whatever. And he kind of right. And he did a Travolta and he kind of looked like him and he was from that part of the, the city and. and then I think he sort of developed that character. But I think it was pretty early on. I don't think it was like,
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he arrived on the national stage.
yeah. So
as,
it's just got to be kind of weird because you already sort of don't. I don't know. You don't really know who you are, kind of as a performer, and then you just create this thing, and everybody loves this thing. But I don't
know, but I also feel like he was. I'm trying to remember, but he was in like movies. In like he had bit parts in the '80s as Andrew Dice Clay, but not Andrew Dice Clay. He would just he was like he would be like a bouncer, or
Okay.
you would see him in things. And then he was in a movie called Safe Sex, I think, with Leah Thompson, and I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this, but so and he was so that's it. But but he had like a he had like a huge moment, and then but I don't. The problem I think with being that character, and again, I mean, if you have any measure of success like that, then congratulations. I mean, you've done better than 99.9% of the people that try to do all this stuff. But like, I don't think you could be Andrew Dice Clay, and then a couple years later you come out as Andrew Silverstein, and you're like making jokes about NATO or whatever
I'm Andy Dice now.
Yeah, I'm Andy Dice. Yeah, folks, I'd like to talk to you about recycling. The polar ice caps are melting at such an alarming rate. You may know me for my character, Andy Dice Clay. Right? Yeah, comes out in a cardigan. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but I mean, but I do hear him. I hear he comes around the. I hear he comes around. I was actually at the Stand. For those of you who don't know, it's a comedy club here in Old New York. I was at the Stand on Wednesday night. I went to a this food one of these food festivals at this place called the Chelsea Market. It's like a big indoor thing. Yeah, but like I had free tickets, and because I order this. Thanks. That's so boring.
They gave you the privilege of spending $1 million.
Yes. Well, it was a free ticket.
Let you in free. The tacos are $27.50.
There you go. Right. Do you right? How well do you like butternut squash? Don't say no yet. But no, what it was is
Here's a Dixie cup.
Yeah. Here you go. You're gonna wait in line for that, by the way, and you're gonna keep your Dixie cup. You're not getting another one. You are not getting another Dixie cup.
You don't get your deposit back.
Yeah, exactly. We'll need a major credit card for that Dixie cup. Thank you. Discover card? I said major credit card. No, what it was, the place where we order our Thanksgiving turkey from is called Heritage Foods.
Sure.
And now it's
You get a Heritage turkey.
Yes, I think it's our 15th year ordering it. So I'm a member of ready for this, the Rare Breed Club.
Love it.
And as a member of the Rare Breed Club,
With your foul mouth.
You
I'm surprised they
fucking-
let you in.
son of a bitch.
Fuck
Hey,
yeah.
you know why you know that? Because you like dark meat.
Yeah.
Fucking home run.
That's why you're so dry, 'cause you're fucking white or something.
You fucking
Turkey jokes.
you gobble up humor. Chip Jefferson, everybody. We're keeping it alive.
in
folks.
peace.
Yeah. I know. Jim Norton retired it. Put it up on the shelf. Anyway, so we went, and it was a free ticket, and it was like, I don't know, ticket was probably like $200 each or something, but there were so many people there that I walked in with my friend Robert, and we got in, and the minute we walked in, there were fucking 3,000 people everywhere. And I turned to Robert, I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we just left immediately. I saw the people from Heritage Foods. I went over, said hi. They don't know me. I just went over. The woman, Christine, was the one that gave us the ticket. And I was like, Christine, over here. And they were so busy giving out little pieces of fucking ham or something. And then I was like, hi, I'm a Rare Breed Club. And I said, you'll have to hug me. And they were like, I said, I'm leaving.
You have
to hug me.
You get really inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right.
I'm in a Rare Breed Club. You
I'm in
whisper.
the Rare Breed. Yeah.
Rare Breed. 15 birds.
Yeah. Anybody here in their period? What?
Yeah. Like
Anybody
stuff you with?
Yeah, you having your monthly?
giblets.
Yeah, exactly. Scrape you open, stuff you like a sausage. Make your own pate. So anyway, we left immediately, and then we got outside, and it was a beautiful night, and I was like, you want to just walk over to the Stand, because I was hoping to run into one or two people that I might want to run into, but so we went over there, and The stand has really, really. The food is really
in the
good.
daytime?
Yeah, it's night.
Oh, well,
It's like 7 o'clock at night.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
7:30, 7 o'clock at night. Every time I've had dinner there,
I heard it's good. I don't
the
think
food
I've
is
ever eaten
really
it.
good. We are the only people ever having dinner there. Every time
Yeah.
I've gone there a few times. I've maybe eaten there 4 or 5 times, and it's like we're the only two top sitting there. And I hate to say this because I used to work in the industry, but the waiter was so fucking annoying. Like, nice guy. He was like really handsome kid, but like
Sure, good-looking kid.
good looking kid. And he comes over and like we ordered oysters and a couple of pizzas, these big pizzas, and then and I asked for like a clean plate because I had oyster shells on my plate, and he was like, he's like, you can just take your shell plate and dump it on top of your that big. They put it on that stand with the ice and everything.
Right.
He goes, you just dump your shell. And I was too aggressive when I said like I'm like, can I just get another plate? And he was like, oh yeah, sure. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I just I know what I can do with these shells. It's not my first time on the planet Earth. Yeah. Oh wait, I can just dump the shells on top of this watery fucking bath of empty shellfish shells next to the
He thought you were too proper. You didn't know that was an option. He
I was
said,
like, excuse me. I am friends
elbows
with
off the table.
I'm friends with Joe DeRosa. Excuse me, everybody. Paul Italia owns this place, and I have his phone number. Excuse me. And then I went to the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom, and then I was washing my hands. Some guy came in the stall, and he goes, "Hey, Brian McCarthy," and I go, "Oh boy, here we go." And I turned around, and it looked like some guy that was homeless, and he was like,
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes you run. I mean, very occasionally when I go into
Ari Shafir.
yeah, fucking speaking of Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, fucking always. You go to the kibbutz and go bald. Yeah, you got it. No, but he comes out of the stall, and the guy, I know something. I'm making this up, but he wanted to like shake my hand.
Okay.
And he came out of the stall, and I was like, I don't want to shake this fucking guy. He just fucking took a shit or something. So I was kind of like, I kind of waved over to the sink. I was like, why don't you wash your hands? And he was like, oh yeah. And he's washing his hands. He was like, do you remember when something about Kevin and me? Okay. God, Kevin, I'll be attached to. I'm constantly Laurel to his Hardy for the rest of my life. And he goes, do you remember when you and Kevin said something about me? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, it was a guy. It was like somebody.
He was a comic, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know what the context was. I don't know who he was. He said his name. I think it was like Mike, I think. But apparently, I don't know what he was talking about. Could have been, but it wasn't like Ian Findance or anybody. It was just some guy who was like, do you remember you and
Mike?
Guy named Mike. He's like, you remember you and Kevin said this and that and blah. And I was just like, yeah, it's so great to see you again. What are you doing here? And he's like, I'm trying to get on that open mic tonight. I'm like, oh well, clearly industry leader here.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get on an open mic, I don't know.
Hoping to hop on that open mic.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll let me on. There was an incident last time.
Oh no.
Threw a punch at a waitress.
Trying to think of a guy that kind of looked homeless.
He was,
but
white guy.
He's been on the actual show.
Dude, the way that he said it to me, I just tried to get away from him. I mean, not that I was afraid or anything. I was just like, we were in the fucking bathroom. There were people getting their hands washed and everything.
Sure.
So he was like, it was either like we had said something about him or he had been somewhere, or I don't think he was on the show. I don't think he was like a Barry Ribs or something. He was just some guy who was like, hey, I remember you and Kevin. And once he said that, I kind of zoned out. And I was looking at him like, what? Okay. And then I just said, oh, it's so nice to see you again. I hope, I don't know, hope you're doing well. And just walked away. Just make sure you take your oyster shells and put them on top of you. Okay. Thank you. So, but there were people like lining up to go see a fucking show at that back room.
Okay.
There. I mean,
upstairs.
No,
one?
there's a back room. There is a girl that works at the stand who's really cute. She's like really, I know you never go there, but she has like a shaved head.
Okay.
Interesting. Not like shaved like all the way down, like bald, but like a very, very buzzed.
Short hair.
Yeah. I always think a girl like that really likes to fuck. Is that
Yeah?
weird? Yeah, I don't know. I'm always like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing?
I would think she really likes to fuck, but not me.
No, you'd be surprised. I mean, yes, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But she wasn't like she had a short hair and like a tool belt.
Like she would date a
Go ahead.
like a lipstick lesbian or a guy with a lot of tattoos.
I hear you. No, but I've had some sexual experiences with girls that have really, really short hair. So maybe I feel like for some reason I'm their type. I don't know why, but
Sure.
But yeah, she was really cute. And then, but of course, I get there and you know, she was like, "Oh, are you guys here to see a show?" I'm like, "Ugh, "No, I'm not here to see a stupid show. I'm
We're
here
here
for
for
the
the clean
oysters."
plates.
Yeah, I'm here for the clean.
Your
Yeah,
world
I'm
famous
here for
clean
that
plates.
handsome waiter who's gonna walk us through the drink menu.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Hey, these are my.
Yikes.
He was like the waiter from Office Space. Remember that
Sure.
guy?
Yeah. Oh, he was like really enthusiastic.
Oh my God.
God, what was that guy's name?
Andy or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, but I,
mean-
remember
I mean,
from
yeah.
it said flingers or skeeters or
Lingers.
tchotchkes or flingers.
I know we
think.
ordered oysters, and he was like, "Oh," he goes, "Good choice." I'm like, "Thank you, great."
Yeah, I don't need to you
Yeah.
fucking validation.
I'm sorry, there's only 2 of us in this whole place eating, while there's more people in the bathroom right now than there are in the dining room. But
yeah, it is a big. There is a lot of room to dine.
huge. It's a weird
And-
layout, and it's open. And then I know on November something they're doing an unmasked with Shane Gillis. Boy, I do
Okay.
not like that fucking
Yeah,
guy.
you don't like him.
I don't know why. It's
I
easy.
don't. I'm just
I know.
neutral, I guess.
Why
I
would
don't
you
know.
care? There's no reason why
Yeah.
you would like him or not like him. I don't. I tell you why. Okay. I don't like him because he big timed me.
Yeah.
Which is clearly.
And it was the interesting thing about that is it
Yes.
was before he was big time. This was before he famously was canceled
No,
or whatever. This was
after he was canceled.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, he got
Oh.
canceled really early on.
Right. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought this was before the SNL thing.
No, it was not.
Because I know he did a show at Compound Media with Tommy Pope.
That was before he got canceled.
Yeah,
I
but I
see.
didn't know. But I for some reason I thought it was before.
No, he was coming on to Misery Loves Company.
Burning Bridges.
Burning Bridges. Sorry,
Yeah.
Burning Bridges, and I met him, and I didn't know who he's. I said "Hey, I'm Brian." He goes, "I'm Shane," and I said, "Oh, are you?" I didn't know who he was. I was like, "Oh, are
Yeah.
you something something?" And he really did pull that like, I'm on the fucking show, man, like that kind of thing. Like, and who the fuck are? I mean, it was almost like a parody of somebody who was like, "You don't know who I am," you know,
Right.
like that kind of
You know
thing.
who my dad is?
Yeah, excuse me, Shane Gillis. I'm the one that got kicked off because I made jokes about Orientals. Okay,
Right.
I'm the Oriental hater. And that really, I mean, it rankles me.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I will tell you this.
Go
If
ahead.
it makes you feel better.
Go ahead.
He, at one point, this was I think a couple years ago.
yes,
Heard that you said you didn't like him, you didn't think he was funny,
good,
and he, not knowing that you and Kevin hadn't worked together in years,
right.
approached Kevin,
Oh,
was
good.
like, "Hey, what's Brian's problem? Like,
Oh,
why doesn't
good.
he like? What's his deal or whatever?" So you got under his skin.
Good. Well,
It makes you feel
it keeps going. I don't know. Look, I'm sure I don't know what I'm sure of, but like, I don't know. I just think like him and that guy, like Dante Nero is another guy. I feel like
I was there for that one.
yeah, well, but I also feel like you know, I am very aware of the cliquish nature of sort of like stand up,
The clickiest,
the
clickiest,
clickiest of click.
nature.
And meanwhile, because bear in mind, these are a group of people that were horribly bullied their entire lives, and now they're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And now what do? Now they close now they're like too cool for the room. It's all really fucking stupid to me. So, and
all-
I did,
It's all It's just catharsis.
yeah.
Keep
I'm like,
walking, breathing, living, breathing
Yeah.
catharsis.
yes, I'm like, you're all a bunch of nerds anyway, and and none of you are really that funny to begin with. So let's all just take a knee. I did try to watch his special on Netflix, and I watched a minute or two, and I was kind of like, well, that's what I expected. I mean,
My buddy in Australia is up in arms. He apparently said bad things about. He just made like a very brash like joke about how they don't do shit. Like they don't have any exports.
yeah.
I guess Australian people really
They don't
do.
like that. Yeah, Australians are very laid back until they're not. Then watch out. They'll throw boomerangs from their own country all the way up. Hey, you think you're
100%.
somebody? Hey, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you got kicked off of your variety show, didn't you? You made fun of Chinese people. Oh, now look at you. You're lucky you got a second chance at it, aren't you? A lot of times, if you make fun of the Chinese, you're done.
I got really. Did I ever tell you that one time I got really like yelled at by a woman? She was from New Zealand,
Okay.
and it was so hard to take her seriously.
It's a stupid accent.
It's like, oh, have ya?
Have
If you
ya?
got no, you're not very thoughtful, are ya? It was I had an ex-girlfriend that was from New Zealand,
Okay.
and it was a situation where we broke up, but we were trying to sort of be friends, I
Sure,
guess.
sure.
And but I was young and too oblivious to know that she just wanted to have a romantic relationship
Sure.
or whatever.
No one can blame her.
And her roommate Twiggy,
Twiggy.
she flipped out on me several times, like because my ex-girlfriend was like too timid to, I guess, tell me how she really felt. And so then her roommate, who I think maybe played rugby or something, would get drunk and
What'd you meet the people? The embassy of New Zealand or something? It's a very Australian group of people.
I had a friend that.
Did you meet her at a sheep station?
I had a friend that I think her father was actually a sheep farmer.
Sure, he was.
Yeah.
Right.
She was a great gal. She was like a business attorney. She was like doing
Right.
really well for herself.
I'll study litigation.
But my friend Phil, who I met working at a cafe, it was her friend. It was his friend from back in New Zealand.
You know what's funny is I remember years ago my Aunt Cecilia, who's done the show, her husband Alan is from New Zealand, and he had periodically he would call me and be like, "Hey, I've got some, when people come from New Zealand or Australia to the United States, they stay for a long time because it's so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we would get calls, and Alan would be like, "Hey, these people are coming through. Can they stay for a night or two?" Or we would be on some sort of like, sure, of course. What am I going to say?
Some New Zealand couch surfers.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So this one time he calls me and he goes, it was like his niece and her then boyfriend, and they show up and they were from Australia, and no, sorry, they were from New Zealand, of course, and they had these massive backpacks. I mean, fucking backpack was like 8 feet tall. It was like carrying around a coffin on their back, and they showed up. They looked like they hadn't showered in a week, and they were like, "We want to go to a New York steakhouse." And I was like, "A New York steakhouse," and I was young. This was a while ago, before I got married, probably 20 plus years ago.
Wow.
And so I said, "Okay, there's a place on 9th Avenue called Old Homestead." I said, "We'll go to Old Homestead." So we went, and we're at Old Homestead, and we're drinking martinis, and I got drunk. They got ossified drunk. I mean, because I don't know if New Zealanders drink a lot of like liquor. I think they maybe drink a lot of whiskey, or not whiskey. They drink a lot of beer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Beer and homemade wine, but Riesling, and so they were drinking. So I remember they got shit faced, and then I took them to a tiki bar over on Houston Street. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's like a Polynesian place with all the straws and a drink and everything else. And so we got one of these big shrunken head drinks. They put all the straws in it and everything. And then we were going to take the subway home, and we were on the platform, and her boyfriend was just vomiting all over the platform. I mean, just throwing up everywhere. It was like 3 a.m, and he's just throwing up. And the next day they were supposed to go to like the Statue of Liberty and go see this and that. They didn't do
Red
shit.
Bus tour.
No, yeah, the Circle Line. They just laid on the couch in the living room.
Just laid in bed and fucking.
I had to go off and do a bunch of stuff.
Oh God!
I came back and they were gone. I don't know, and then I never heard them again, or what. I don't know. I mean, apparently they're alive. I mean,
okay, they're not dead.
Yeah, I killed myself. I jumped off the Empire State Building. I thought I could fly. Yeah, so I don't know. I watched that show Down for Love, which is where all the people from all the people with Down syndrome from New Zealand. It's a small country too. There's only like 4 million people, 5 million people in New Zealand. Looks like a beautiful country.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but I don't think I'll ever go.
My thing is it's really far to go for the scenery, everything beautiful, beaches, everything, but you're going really far for a culture that's pretty similar. Do you know what I mean? It's just they speak English. It's nothing's really that exotic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's different. It'd be it's far down the line for me, where you can go to like Brazil and it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah. I like to go I like to go to a different place, and also it's kind of like how we feel about Hawaii. Like I know Hawaii is beautiful, but I like the Caribbean is right here.
Yeah.
And I love the Caribbean's fine. I don't need to take a helicopter tour of a volcano or I don't really, I mean, look, I'm sure it's really nice. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'll just go to a beach. I like a beach. I don't I don't really care about necessarily, and it's really far to get to Hawaii. You know what I mean? It's like 10 hours or something like that. And so, and when you show up there, you're like, all right, well, I guess we're going to a beach.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm having a little Schadenfreude, which, as everyone knows, is when you take pleasure in someone's pain, because you know the island of Maui was devastated by the fires. But now they're saying, you know, a big thing on Hawaii is they don't like mainlanders. You know, there's a whole feeling that like America kind of colonized Hawaii, and they may be right. I don't know, but Polynesians, by definition, they would get on these big long boats and kind of jump from island to island anyway. Like no one's really. And again, I apologize to any native Hawaiians listening to this, of course, but I feel like no one's really an actual native Hawaiian, because they're from Guam, or they're from here, they're from there. It's kind of it's a collection of islands that are all over there. So to say like white Americans aren't, or what am I trying to say? It's like it's always like we don't want like mainlanders here, and you're kind of like, all right, well, okay, I guess no problem. But now they're like, because of all, and they don't like tourism. I think it's wild when people are in an area that lives and dies on tourism, and they're like, get out of here with your tourists. We don't want your tourism dollars that we desperately need. And so now they're saying, hey, everybody, change of heart. We would love it if you came back to our smoking, scorched island now, and, you know, have some, you know, some poke bowls, or whatever it is. So bless you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go. I don't think. Is there any place that you really would like love to go to by yourself, no girlfriend, big ass island? You're like, I don't know, everywhere.
Isn't that just the Dominican Republic?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Big stinky ass.
Yeah, no, I don't know. At this point,
like culturally, like somewhere.
Where do I want to go? I haven't been to like. Probably do like a trip to Europe at some point, like continent. I've been around the UK, but I haven't been to like Spain. Italy. I would like to go to like Italy.
Okay,
but I don't know. It's tricky because it's just kind of like, all right, I'll maybe try to do like I don't know, Paris or something like that.
Okay,
I don't know.
All
just
right.
Fuck around.
Okay, go fuck around.
Fuck around.
Hey,
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I guess mostly my tourism is. Centers around food and beaches.
Sure.
So
it's all right.
Yeah, I think like France would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
What's like Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would like to go to. I would like to go to the. I've never been to the south of France. I'd like to go to like south of France, and I'd like to jump around on like one of those, like a nightclub where I'm with a bunch of 65-year-old like Russian expats, and we're all jumping around like pouring champagne on like Estonian prostitutes.
Yeah,
you know, like
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd like to have a real Euro trash like week where I have like two friends of mine that could probably facilitate that. You know, like you go over there and. You know, I'd like to I spend the whole time like in a Speedo, you know, like maybe do a bunch of coke and just, you know, maybe. Yeah. Like a Speedo, but at night I wear like a linen shirt that's not even buttoned up.
Caftan over
exactly. Yeah. Some sort of a linen shirt. Right. Yeah. I have exotic creams and lotions, you know, and
definitely.
Yeah. And
definitely.
just a bunch of girls that are just bored that are with me, you know, like that would be fun.
Staff of girls.
Yeah, exactly. None of them
Tinder swindler, kind of like fly private.
Yeah, none of them want to be there.
No,
I don't want anybody having a good time except me. Yeah.
Well, they're all just burnt out from doing ecstasy for like 2 weeks straight.
They have no dopamine.
No dopamine.
Yeah,
void of dopamine.
They don't even notice that like the bottle service guy is fingering them. Yeah. They're just getting fingered by everybody. They don't even notice it with their chapped and battered pussies. Yes.
Love it. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's talk. Say hi to some folks. And
We're
then
gonna say
go. We're gonna go behind the beaded curtain.
Yeah.
That's where it gets weird, as you know.
Okay.
Hi to our boy Ted.
What's up, Ted? Hi, Ted.
My sweet boys.
Hey, boy. What's up, gorgeous?
James.
Hello, James.
Hi to James.
Hello, James.
Hi to Key.
Hello, Key.
Key says, I met Dice's kids at Cantor's Deli in L.A.
Yeah.
Nice guys, he said.
They're in a band, one of
They
them. One of them's a drummer, I think.
Right.
Oh, my son is in Skid Row. Oh, Sebastian Bach is my son.
What else did... Ted says, can you do a citizen's arrest in the U.S.?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Yes, you can. Yeah. It's,
we were talking about police.
Yes, you can. What you do is if you witness someone committing a crime, you call the police and you're allowed to detain them until they get there. But I don't know if you can put your hands on them. I don't really know how that necessarily works. I think you can just stand around them and be like, citizens arrest.
And I think it'd have to be something pretty cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like as far like a crime that's
like
very
shoplifting or something.
Yeah.
Or assault maybe. But although
something like that.
If somebody's assaulted somebody, I don't think I'd wade in and be like, I'm going to have a citizen's arrest.
Sure.
Listen,
you second assault.
Yeah, you drunk MMA fighter, you better stay right there. I've called the police.
Yeah.
And they'll be here in 10 to 12
sit
minutes.
Tight, War Machine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Cop a squat. Go.
Yeah.
Don't rinse that blood off your fist. That's evidence.
James says, Sweaty Ham Cafe is a good name for your next pay-per-view porn film.
Yeah,
Sweaty Ham Cafe.
It had little dollops of it was condensation because when you put something in the refrigerator, take it out again, it was so hot down there. You don't ever go to the Dominican Republic in July. It's cheap. You know what I mean?
That was I avoided that because my girlfriend's birthday is in July.
Nice.
And the trip we're taking tomorrow
for her birthday
is her gift. But I'm like, I know you want to go to the beach.
Yeah,
a nicer beach than we normally go to.
Sure.
But we
nicer than
can't
Rockaway.
We can't go. Yeah, we can't go on your birthday. It's going to be too. We made that mistake. We went to Puerto Rico. On her birthday 2 years ago, and fucking, I swear I got 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah,
it's
a million degrees.
She burnt.
Yeah, she's black. I see.
She's black.
I see what you did there.
She burnt.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Yeah. No.
I mean, that was like. That's crazy.
Are you gonna really shave down your cock and balls for her, like before you go, like tonight? Give it a good.
I'm pretty.
You're pretty
good.
down.
Yeah.
What do you go once a week?
Go.
I'm saying, do you shave your balls like once a week?
No. Twice a month, probably.
Oh, wow.
Bi-weekly.
Okay,
is that bi-weekly or is that bi-month?
Buy something.
By
buy me a drink.
Yes. Buy me a drink, and we'll see where the night takes us.
That's right.
Yeah, a couple. I got a nice ball shaver from you.
You're welcome.
The Manscaped.
I'd like to one time see those balls.
I almost drank. I came in today and you were sleeping, and I thought about. I almost Chad Zumicked you.
Oh, and came in and
about
get naked?
doing like a.
Oh, that'd be so
I
great.
wouldn't have gotten naked, but like I don't know, something
gotta go full
inappropriate.
naked.
Something inappropriate.
Okay.
But maybe I put my ball bag right on your forehead.
You know, it'd be terrible. It's like it would start off being inappropriate, and then we just end up fucking.
Yeah.
Like, this is so funny.
I wonder, though, I do wonder what your reaction would be because you're the guy that does inappropriate things.
Right.
I am curious how you would react to inappropriate things being done to you.
I'd open my mouth
and
put them right in. Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, exactly. It's called Yes End.
Oh, of course. You're in your master of improv.
Absolutely. Del Close. Yep.
Gay consensual improv. And also hello to Marie Driscoll. She says, love you guys. Thanks for the laughs.
Hey, Marie. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us at the very last minute, Marie.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in, Marie. Well, remember,
you're late.
We have lots of shows on here, so you can just go through.
And we leave it up on YouTube so you can.
They're there forever and ever. Like, subscribe, all that bullshit.
See what you want. But let's go behind the beaded curtain.
Guys, everybody, thank you for. Remember, we were going to have Joanna Angel's sister, who, believe it or not, Sarah Angel.
I don't know if she goes.
I don't know. She's in my phone as Sarah Angel,
she goes by something else.
Look her up. We'll tell you right now what her name is. It's funny because Joanna Angel is, porn star. She's covered in tattoos and, blah, blah, blah. And her sister is covered in tattoos, but she's a burlesque dancer and an opera singer.
Sarah Screams is what her name
Sarah
is.
Screams.
Yeah.
So she was going to be here today, but it's a very big Jewish holiday on Sunday. It's their New Year. So I guess my accountant's probably out of pocket till Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, but
Murray.
Yeah, Murray, exactly. So all the honey and apples and everything. So they're going to be. So she canceled last night, which is okay. I mean, whatever, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay. We'll see her next Friday. So her name is Sarah Scream. So if you're interested, you can check her out before she gets here on Friday. I mean, I was saying to Adam, how funny it is that like their parents, it's like, you know, normally they'd be like, oh my God, my daughter is a burlesque dancer and she's, you know, it's crazy. She has
Oh,
tattoos.
she's an opera singer too.
Yeah, an opera singer.
Opera singing, burlesque dancing, blow up doll loving gal with mad booty.
Wow.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, let's hold on, sweetheart.
If I go crazy.
Don't write checks with your mouth that your ass can't cash.
Sure.
Yeah, Adam will be the judge of that. And yeah, so we'll have her next Friday. So that'll be fun. So that's it. Everybody, thank you very much. We're going to go over to the Patreon and we will see you on Friday. Okay.